Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of the Mandatory Live. Remember, if you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button because it helps the channel grow. Also, follow us on our social media channels. We're at the Mandatory TKO. And if you have a couple of minutes and you also want to listen to this on the audio side, you can find us there too. You can always leave us a rate and review, give us a 5-star because that helps the channel grow as well. And we want to give a big shout out to everyone that is already joining us and will join us later. Remember to leave comments. It's an interactive show. Bud and Canelo reportedly set for September. And we know that that's one of Canelo's weekends. Another one of Canelo's weekends, Cinco de Mayo. And it's been reported that Canelo will first fight this year Jake Paul.
I worded
Bryan.
it. I worded it reportedly in play because the it's saying reportedly agreed upon. Nothing. None of these fights are technically official. I think Canelo and Crawford will be. This one I'm a little more skeptical of, but I think from a boxing perspective, it's nasty if Canelo Alvarez does fight Jake Paul in May. But from a just a financial and marketing perspective, it's almost genius.
Do you so you like this play? Like you
Like
like this play from Canelo? Like his
if
tune-up will be Jake Paul?
if you're gonna fight Terrence Crawford, I mean, and you need a tune-up beforehand, the amount of money he'd make fighting Jake Paul. I'm still speaking as if it's not official yet because it's not, even though some people are talking about it as it is. But
Would that be how many M's would that be? Like I think it could be like the one of the biggest money makers.
there's an article, and I think it was Boxing News 24 that went through the potential this could outsell Canelo Crawford, which, if you're a diehard boxing fan, kind of depresses you. But also, if you're looking at it objectively, I kind of get it because of the circus and because Jake Paul has that factor of a lot of people want to see him get his ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why I'm interested in it because I'm like, yo, Canelo's gonna beat his ass because I don't think Canelo would take it easy on him.
I hope not.
I don't know. I don't think Canelo would. Like I know there's some Canelo haters here, but I don't think Canelo would get in a ring with him and like be Tyson Fury against Ngannou. Like that's just not gonna happen
No,
with Canelo, dude. Like he
no.
would take it seriously and like
Like AJ versus Ngannou.
yeah.
Chat, especially the anti Canelo legion that we have here. Would you root for Canelo Alvarez in a fight with Jake Paul? The people who do not like Canelo Alvarez watching. Let's go to Jalen Davis. This is a funny comment. I shed tears that Canelo and Benavidez will never happen. It depresses me, honestly.
Can I be honest though? I don't even think I need to see it now though, because now I'm like, okay, let's see him get the winner of Benavidez. I mean, Beterbiev and Bivol. Like to me, that's a very good fight as well.
I agree. I still want to see Benavidez versus Canelo, but to each their own.
Hey man, there's other fights. You know what I mean? Like I'm over it at this point.
I like Canelo, but he's not as good as people keep banging on about. That should have been clear after the Bivol loss. Now, my question to you would be: do you think this version of Canelo, or does this apply to Canelo Alvarez as a whole, like his entire career? Because I do think this version of Canelo, while still really good, is clearly not where he was maybe a half decade ago or so. Because I think a slightly younger version of Canelo finishes Edgar Berlanga, probably finishes Jaime Munguia too. But he didn't do that. And he hasn't gotten to finish actually in 3+ years at this point.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing Canelo at the latter end of his career. So I'm taking a look at like his year that's reportedly planned. And I'm like, this is wild. Like, I think if Canelo does this, it's it for him. Like, I think he's sailing off in the sunset and he's like, you know what? It's my last year. Let me make the most money that I can make because I think, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like Jake Paul and Canelo would make crazy amount of money. And I think it might make more than him and Bud, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, because Jake Paul knows how to sell a fight. I could only imagine what that would be like. And money-wise, businessman-wise, it makes a lot of sense. But also, I think a lot of people just want to see Jake Paul get knocked out.
Everyone wants to see Jake, not everyone, but a lot of people want to see Jake Paul get knocked out.
Why would Jake Paul get in the ring with Canelo? Like that'd be the dumbest thing
Money,
ever.
money.
I know, but it
That's
would just
it.
be
But that
so
but that's
dumb.
it. That's it. That's what a lot of these new dudes. That's all they care about. Like all they care about. It's just no. There's nothing else attached to it. It's just money because ultimately he's gonna say, "I dare to be great." This is how he's gonna spin this because this is what all these fucking wacko motherfuckers do. I dare to be great. I got in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, yada yada yada, whatever. Like that's what he's going to say. He's going to spin it in that way, sort of like after he beats Andre August, they're like, "Oh, they said I could have beat a real boxer. What are they going to say now?" Like that's all it's going to be. It's always going to be spun in a direction that favors him. And you know what? Like ultimately it's going to come down to money. And what actually does he have to lose other than potentially his life, because boxing is boxing and it's a
Well,
dangerous
that's what
sport.
I'm saying. He
But
could potentially lose his life. Like this is not a joke.
but
Like
like
that's the only thing that pisses me off about it. It's like they're making a mockery out of the sport.
yes, but he's betting on the, I don't know, 99% chance that he survives and is going to be able to enjoy however many, hundreds of millions he actually gets from generating this with Canelo Alvarez. And then guess what? He doesn't have to box anymore. He doesn't have to, or he can actually go back to doing like celebrity boxing shit. He could fight KSI, he could fight somebody else, he could fight his brother for all the fuck we care. Like, I think that's where it ultimately boils down to. It's just money.
I just okay, so here's the thing. I would love to see Canelo knock out Jake Paul because I think it would be like, okay, about time someone did it. And that's why I think a lot of people tuned in to Tyson. I think a liver shot by, Canelo could drop him. And at the same time, like boxing is one of those sports where you come into the ring and you could lose your life. If I was Jake Paul and I was just doing it for the bread, I would maybe just like take 1, 2 punches and like, just pretend like I just pretend like I couldn't go anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's such a dangerous sport. So I hate the fact that that fight would be a mockery and, we wouldn't get like a David Benavidez and Canelo. Instead, we got Jake Paul and Canelo. So, as a boxing fan, that would piss me off. But in terms of me understanding the business, how much money they would make, I think it would gross more than him and Bud potentially because of the viewership that Jake Paul has. And at the same time, I also feel like the spectacle of it would be kind of good for boxing in the same way, like the amount of eyes on it. So there
Sure.
are pros, there's cons, but I don't know if I'm feeling it more than him and Benavidez or, Canelo and somebody else. But hey, if this happens, Brian, is this the craziest thing to happen in boxing in a long time? If Canelo was to fight Jake Paul.
What was the fight that Riddick Bowe had? That some dude was it Holyfield and Bowe, where some dude
Yeah.
just like fucking jumped into the ring from the rafters. Um, I don't know. A lot of crazy shit happens in this sport. It probably won't be the craziest, but it'll be in recent memory. Like honestly, it's probably the fight that people want. Like not people as in like diehard boxing fans. It's probably the fight that casual boxing fans like. They're like, oh yeah, I'll tune in to see Jake Paul get his fucking doors blown off.
I think
Like,
Jake, yeah, go ahead.
do we think Canelo carries him, or do we think he just goes in there and is like, I'm not fucking around, I'm ending this inside of 2 rounds?
I think Canelo goes in and says he's not fucking around. I swear, because Canelo doesn't play like he's serious about his work, his boxing. You know what I mean? His motto is no boxing, no life. You think he's gonna let some guy Jake Paul get carried for like 4 or 5 rounds? No way.
Well, here's the thing too. I'll say this. Jake Paul, Canelo spars with heavyweights. We've seen videos of him sparring among others,
Yeah.
Frank Sanchez, for example. Like Jake Paul will absolutely, he'll try to come in. I wonder if he'll test positive for anything. Just
Well, here's
reckless
the thing. Let's not
speculation.
knock Jake Paul. He's
He's
gotten
good.
better. He's gotten better,
Yeah, but
dude. And
he's also gonna be 230
yeah,
on fight night or whatever.
he's gonna be big. Yeah.
Like you saw how he looked for the Mike Tyson fight. Like, yeah, he's gonna be obviously the biggest dude that Canelo Alvarez has been in the ring with from a just sheer size standpoint. We got some comments on this, so we should get
Yeah.
to them. And people talking to each other, which I always enjoy the back and forth banter. Just keep it cool. Jake Paul, Aldo Pau Jake Paul going to be another Euro knocked out. Euro? But I know what you mean. Um,
Actually, I want to go to this comic. This is funny. It could be a publicity stunt to lessen the criticism of facing Skull. Jesus, this is the funniest comment, I feel like, because remember when we heard that William Skull news and we were like, what's going on here? Why are you not fighting David Benavidez? And I think that will always be the thing that kind of follows him. Let's go
I'm not
over.
sure that's dead also,
Yeah,
but
it could be. Oh wait, why am I hitting that again? Let's go over to Jalen Davis, friend of the show. Thanks for joining us, Jalen. Jake Paul will pull a Jermel Charlo if he fights Canelo. Yeah, not very entertaining.
like just kind of like Paul Butler in a way where it's just survival mode, just like let me try to make it as
But
far as I
you'll
can.
take a beating against Canelo though. Like he's gonna get to the body. Like I don't know. Like he would just get his ass beat.
Jake Paul doesn't have the cardio for that. That's the thing too. I think to Jalen's point, I think he'll probably could try that, but he doesn't have the cardio to like make it last as long as like an actual like professional boxer does.
Hey, this is Al the Pal. This is a funny comment too. We ain't haters. We just say facts. I hope Jake beats him up.
Haters usually do say that. I'm not listen, hate is good. I don't give a shit. Hate all you want. Hate you need to let it out, especially in this climate. There are a lot of things that are hateable. So, just there's a line. But like look, there's mad shit on earth that I hate that I can't
Yeah.
fucking stand. Like
Yeah, a
Chantel
lot.
also, but she'll be cooler about it.
If you catch me on a good day. Sometimes I got time. Canelo also said David's disrespectful. Jake Paul called him a puta and Canelo a fraud. It's just interesting, and I love the fact that Canelo's entertaining it. To be honest with you, it gives us something to talk about.